back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandrin.
What up, what up? It is Deja. How y'all doing?
Hello. If you've never been here before, welcome. We do a cross section of pop culture in real life. And today we are here with a pop culture mashup. If you've never been here before, I do drop the timestamps down below in the description box. So you can jump around as you see fit. Where do you want to start with?
Girl, it has been an interesting couple of weeks.
It has.
So, in the last, 2 weeks, we saw a very short-lived relationship between a sugar daddy and a young girl. And I'm speaking of 65-year-old Italian billionaire, don't even know his name, and Aoki Lee Simmons. Yuck.
I heard so much funny commentary about this. Somebody was like calling Kimura like, girl. You supposed to do this kind of stuff so your children don't have to, sus.
Hello. But I mean, they also resurfaced like old conversations, I guess that
Yeah,
Aoki had posted between her and her father where she
I've
was saying
seen
that she was
them.
gonna go get her a sugar daddy.
She was like, "You gonna cut me off? No problem. I'm gonna go get me a sugar daddy," and that she
And
did, girl.
did.
Stood on business, honey. Stood on
Child,
business.
I suspect that old man was like, oh, they are really talking about me bad out here. Let me get away from this girl.
Of course.
Because 65, you are old enough to be her grandfather, not even her daddy. That is
Well,
gross.
let's talk about the city girl since we're right there with city girl behavior. Um,
Did you see those tweets?
I did.
I was like, what is going on? And Saucy Santana was in it. Like, I mean, they quickly gathered it up and together, but it was like JT was in there fighting for her life between her and Glorilla,
Yeah.
Saucy, and then the other one that went to
Alicia,
jail. Who went to jail? Was it JT?
JT.
So I'm confusing it. Either way, y'all know what I'm talking about.
So, in my opinion, it felt like so JT has been doing like a lot of smaller type of events and she hasn't been doing like big club appearances. She's been at like brunches where people can like come up and talk to her. And so a lot of people have been kind of clowning her for that. But also like obviously Miami is been entangled with the Diddy mess of it all. So it seemed like she is also kind of like sensitive about feeling like maybe she's being attacked or mentioned in JT's songs. And then Saucy is kind of jumping in the mix. But they also really just took it all down and now JT is promoting Young Miami stuff again. And like,
I'm like, girls, y'all should have kept this to the group chat.
well, here's the thing.
Why?
I like this city girl, so I've watched interviews and stuff with them, and they talk about basically like, yeah, we get mad, we block each other, we argue like sisters, and I get mad, I block her for 2 weeks, and then we get back to it. Like, this is my friend, and we gonna be friends. And that's like I didn't think this was gonna be like a long, drawn out thing. I was like, they mad, they
They
talking.
just beef and they're gonna be all right.
They gonna be
I
all
was
right,
like,
and
Lord
they will,
bless it. What's going on with the city girls?
and they are, and you know, they're just two different personalities. They have two very, very, very different personalities. So yeah, it's what it is.
In
What
other
else
news
we
that I found to be interesting, we all have been speculating for weeks on the social media streets that Ashanti and Nelly were expecting a child, and she has just officially announced her pregnancy.
Oh, did she?
She had like it's like a cute little social media post where they're calling her, asking her if she's ready. I guess she's supposed to be going on stage for something. And when she finally comes through the curtain from the back or whatever, she's like, oh yeah, I'll be ready in about 9 months. So finally she's announcing that she's pregnant.
That's
Everybody's been
cute.
saying she's been pregnant for the longest time.
Well,
So,
she's been looking pregnant, and I love that for her.
and that's,
I love that for her.
listen, got your man back and then boom, having a baby. All right.
Love it.
Moving right on along, Jonathan Majors won't be going to jail. Instead, he's been ordered anger management classes.
Mm,
So we'll see how all of that pans out. In addition to whatever that lawsuit is that we talked about a couple of weeks ago with the ex Jabari, the
mm,
girlfriend Jabari. Her last name
mm.
was Jabari. I don't remember her first name.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I wonder how that's gonna play out. Well, maybe those anger management classes will come in handy since he's gonna be going to court to battle this girl who's mad and estranged, I guess.
Okay. Sure.
I'm
I'm like, girl,
just saying.
Maybe.
Anyway, rest in peace to OJ Simpson. Why did I got to hear OK Simpson?
I know I saw that. Rest in. May you have the eternity that you deserve.
All right, Jade. Shout out to Jade and XD.
That's Jada
Ah,
XD. May you have
Lord
the
have
eternity
mercy.
that you deserve, Sir Simpson. Because
Girl.
yes, he had cancer. He definitely had
Who
cancer.
I didn't even know.
He did. And like he was trying to play it off a couple months ago. I want to say like February. People were speculating that he was in hospice care. And he got online and was like, hospice? Who's in hospice? Ain't nobody in hospice.
And
And
now you
then
done croaked. Why you doing all of that, sir?
now he's
That wasn't necessary. Go on to glory with some decency and keep it moving.
to glory.
Be confusion on your face. Okay, moving right
I
on
don't have,
along.
I'm just kind of like, I
I
don't know.
mean, we don't know where he went, so go on to
And
glory.
don't, and don't, but I,
Ain't got a heaven or a hell to put him in. That's not my business. Okay,
so, may he rest wherever he
wherever
has
he
wound.
lay.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, just terrible. All right. In sad news, Chance and his wife have split after being married for 5 years.
This is Chance the Rapper. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope that I hate to see any marriage split. I hope that maybe they can work it out. But there's been a lot of unsavory commentary around this. This is not funny, sorry. Around them separating. Basically, someone said that they think it was whatever the last festival was that he was at. I can't even
Yeah.
think what it was called. Whatever was happening. Y'all, if you are the youth, then when you follow Chance the Rapper, you know what I'm talking about. Put it down in the comments because Auntie don't know right now.
It was a festival where, are you talking about the twerking incident?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it was
Hmm.
like, I don't know. I don't think that was it. I feel like that's something you could probably get over. It had to be more to it than that.
Yeah. But maybe they'll pull it together and won't break up their home for their little ones.
Sure.
So, moving back into Amanda Seales news, there seems to be an onslaught since that first op-ed. Like everybody is coming out swinging, so much so that she has since decided to basically put all of her things behind a paywall.
Good for her.
And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I hear you, but like, dang.
Here's the thing. I I don't think anyone owes us their trauma, and
No.
I've been pretty vocal about not being a fan of, well, not, let me walk that back. I've been pretty vocal that like Amanda Seales kind of moved a little bit strange for me, and I think she can be a little bit insufferable. But like also I feel that protecting your peace is important, and also because of all of this commentary, it's like, girl, you're gonna need that paywall. Um because
Girl,
you
you
know,
this no, don't even say it.
I'm just, no, I'm saying, okay, and let me give a little bit more context, right? One of my favorite shows is probably something that no one has heard of. And if you've heard of it, it's because of a small snippet that went viral on the internet. And it's the cutting room floor with Richo Amandi. It's a fashion show. It's very like insidery, very fashiony, right? And at first she was doing it and putting it out for the masses, and then she put it behind a paywall on Patreon. And oh, the clip I was mentioning that went viral was when Most Def was talking about Drake. That was from Richo Amandi's show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So basically, her thesis is, look, I don't give things away for free. I don't share my opinions for free. I don't want to have to play the sponsorship game. I don't want to have to do any of that. I want my platform to be pure. I want it to be how I want it to be. I want to ask the questions I want to ask and have the conversations that I want to have. And therefore, I am putting it behind a paywall and you guys will pay for it. And so I pay for it, and I have paid for it for years and I love it. And so when you have a niche offering and you have a dedicated fan base because your offering is so good, why not? And especially when you are in Amanda Seals's case, another example of this is the kitchenista. If
Mm.
in those situations where you have people who are um just harassing you and being unkind, but you also have loyal people who are going to buy your products and watch your content and they've been here for years and they're happy to pay for it. Why not have them pay for it and stop playing the visibility game?
I mean, yeah.
So that wasn't
So
shade
it
in
just,
saying like she's gonna need the money. It's like, girl, th with all of this dust up, who's gonna be sponsoring the things? Go behind the paywall and serve the audience that's wanting to pay you.
yikes. I just hate to see it because she, again, I still think that she is a talent, and it's just hard to watch people just be publicly dragged like that.
Yeah.
And
Why
I don't
subject
know
yourself to
that
that, honestly?
I don't know that the dragging that's happening to her is even well deserved by any measure.
I don't think it's worth all of this. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's the danger. Actually, Richo from the cutting room floor that I was talking about, the reason why she initially put her stuff behind a paywall is because she went through a public dragging. And people were like talking. She was like, "Girl,
Similar.
I don't argue for free. So if you want to argue with me, you're gonna have to do it behind a paywall. You're gonna have to pay your monthly fee to get behind this paywall and argue with me." Like literally, that's pretty much what she said. And so like
I
I
ain't
just
mad, do
don't
you, girl?
I just don't understand why you would want to argue and go back and forth with people for free. And like you're not obligated to have to do that. And I think that's like the danger also with the internet, and it speaks more of like the internet culture and the TikTok culture and all of the things is like people pile on.
Hmm.
And like even when you think about how on TikTok you can like take what somebody's commentary, you can stitch your own commentary and like then it just becomes a loop. And it's just like, you know, and I mean we're a commentary channel and we commented on Amanda Seales too. So like that we're not absolved in any of this. I'm
Right.
just saying like I don't see a problem with that. If she wants to put her stuff behind a paywall and it's like I'm not gonna deal with trolls and all of this backlash for free, then good for
So
her.
be it. I ain't mad at it, do you, girl?
Yeah.
Moving right on along. So a couple of weeks ago, in one of our pop culture conversations, we made mention of Kevin Hart and the lawsuit that he had out for Tasha K.
Mm.
So basically, Kevin Hart is accusing ex-assistant of eavesdropping on his private conversations by listening through walls in a bombshell lawsuit against blogger Tasha K. So basically, she's still in the midst. And I don't know that the interview that Tasha was alleging that she was going to come forward with the assistant, I don't know that that ever actually came out. I think there was only ever snippets
Mm.
that she produced onto her YouTube platform. I think
Hmm.
the if there was a full interview, excuse me, it was behind her paywall.
I was gonna say she's another one. She went behind a paywall too.
Mm-hmm. Because it was just safer for her to keep all her monies in-house. So, so that's the last of all the pop culture stuff. In some of the breaking headlines, the Supreme Court has announced that it will not hear the McKesson versus Joe case, which is a recent case attempting to fight for the elimination, or, excuse me, attempting to fight against the elimination of the right to organize mass protests in the states of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
Hmm.
Basically, what they're saying is that now these states are going to have to decide what they want to do about this suit on their own. The Supreme Court
Here's
is
the
not going to
thing.
step into it.
Let me tell you something from somebody who went to law school and has an active law license. Anytime you talk about states' rights, there's racism afoot. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Every single time. It has
Mm-hmm.
something to do with taking power and autonomy away from a group of people. We're witnessing
Agreed.
it with abortion. We are witnessing it, and it is only a first step. Also, we're witnessing it, like I said, with abortion, with these voting rights cases, with this organization like case, the right to organize in public mass organization. It's like,
It's ridiculous.
I have a radical theory. I don't think I don't think the country survives unless we rewrite the Constitution. And I know that's not ever gonna ever gonna
I
happen.
agree. It
But
needs to
I feel
happen.
like I feel like up until now, Black people, other people of color, women, we've all been trying to carve our rights out of something that was never intended for us. And when people
Hmm.
get in power with and they have the access and enough power to change it, they do it every time.
Hmm.
And until the commitment is to like rewriting and redoing all this shit, it ain't ever gonna work out for us.
I agree.
So that's
So we'll
my
see how that plays out. I'll
side
be honest,
theory.
all of these breaking headlines are disappointing this week.
Yeah.
Another one is Duke ends their full ride scholarships due to affirmative action ruling.
Another thing
So,
that was carved out of the Constitution, out of the margins of the Constitution,
yep.
affirmative action. So yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I feel like that also coincides with all this new way of calling people niggers. They're the DEI mayor and the DEI this and basically like that's the new buzzword. You're just gonna call me a DEI hire or whatever the case. Like, girl, fuck
Man,
you.
Twitter took that and ran with it a couple of weeks ago, and it was funny to me. But yes, very much that. And then you have one more story.
Yes, the last story, I just was appalled because we are remote employees.
Mm.
Dell sent out a memo that remote work employees will no longer be eligible for promotions going forward. So basically, if you aspire to get higher in the company, you need to take your ass to the building.
That should be illegal. And
I agree.
honestly, like what's pissing me off about this return to work thing is that people aren't being honest. And it's
Nope.
like from a person who was not remote, I was hybrid at the beginning of the pandemic. And during the pandemic, these same companies were like, we're doing more than we've ever done. This has not affected us at all. Productivity is up. Y'all are turning it out. Like,
Y'all
thank
are
you
killing
so
it.
much for
Meanwhile,
your
everybody's stressed
hard
the hell
work
out.
working through this pandemic. We know your kids are at home with you. We thank you. And you've been more productive. And then as soon as all of this stuff turns around, it's like, girl, we just can't. We just can't. We cannot do work unless we're in person. And like my issue is the dishonesty with the fact that the reason for the push is because commercial real estate is tanking. It's because all of the infrastructure that was set up around these downtown corridors to support people being at work 9 to 5,
Mhm.
talking about restaurants, talking about housing, talking about tickets, parking tickets, meters, boots. That is all infrastructure that relied on people being in offices. And that is the reason why they need people back in offices so that they can boost the city revenue by giving people parking tickets, so that they can boost up these restaurants by people having to take lunch breaks. Like, stop being
Mhm.
dishonest. This is not about people needing to be in office. And I'm not going to hold you. I am 100% remote, and I think sometimes it would be nice to like have the option a little bit, but I can go find a co-working space if that's the case.
Hello.
Or I can socialize how I want to socialize. And I think it's very dishonest to be like, "Oh, we absolutely need you in office," because you absolutely do not.
I
And
agree.
also saying that like we're just going to dismiss your hard work because you won't come to an office is also dishonest. And finally,
Crazy.
it goes back to the affirmative action stuff because it has been studied and found that Black people, other people of color, they do better when they don't have to deal with the office politics and the chaos and the confusion of being in
Hmm.
an office. And they're
Hmm.
able to balance their lives a little better
Hmm. They
by
have
working from
real
home.
work-life balance.
They actually have balance. Um, and yeah, they fare better when they're not when their fate is not tied to being in the boss's face all day. So, you know, it all seems related.
Because it is.
All
And
seems
to your
weird.
point of like, not that this is a constitutional thing, but I think as a culture, America needs to just rewrite, redo how we do things now because we live in a world where you're
Absolutely.
very much capable to work remotely and not have to physically come into a space whatsoever. So you have all these commercial properties that are down there, turn them into apartments. It's so many people without homes. Like, find other ways to make use of these empty buildings that you're
Yeah.
complaining are basically running down the infrastructure because you're not getting any money out of them. There's ways to get the money. Y'all just not trying to figure that part out.
Absolutely. Could not agree. And not just housing, affordable housing. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's all we got.
That is it fit, Lord. That is
Ooh.
it, folks. Woo, it's been a week, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, drop down in the comments and let us know if there was anything particular that you enjoyed. And if you have stories that you would like for us to talk about, send them to the email that is also always linked down in the description box. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.